The best way to judge food products for dieting is to calculate the calorie density of the food in question. You get that by dividing the calories by the grams that the food weighs. So in the nutrition facts, where it says serving size, let's say it says like one brownie 50 grams, and the calorie says 100 calories. So you divide the calories by the grams, so 100 calories divided by 50 grams, that gives you 2 calories per gram. So for every gram of that brownie that you eat, you're consuming 2 calories. That's the calorie density of the food. And for perspective, the David bar is 2.4 calories per gram. That's pretty good. But then if you go to Whole Foods, like, sweet potatoes are 0.9 calories per gram, baked sweet potatoes. And if you go to strawberries, that's 0.32 calories per gram. That's a third of the calorie density that the sweet potato has. So that means you can have 3 times as much strawberries as sweet potatoes for the same calories, or you could have twice as many sweet potatoes as David bars for the same calories. But the lower you go on the calorie dense score, the lower the taste is. So you can get full off of pickles, but it won't taste that good. So then people sacrifice the calorie density, a little bit of it, to have better taste, right? So when you're scoring food, you got to score not just the calorie density, but the taste alongside it. So I think every food product next to the nutrition label should have a calorie density score, like, showing the objective calorie density per gram, and the taste, score right next to it based on like a poll. Let's say like an average taste score between 0 and 10, 0 being like water and 10 being like, the best crumble cookie or cheesecake or pizza, and the average score based on like many reviewers or, just like a poll or something. You could just put that taste test score on there. But, that is what people should look for when they're finding foods that they want to fill up on and enjoy, because they'll be able to eat more of it and it'll make their souls happier. We're not doing that right now. Right now, TikTok, creators and, YouTubers, they're all like talking about protein. Oh, it says this much protein, it's like, they don't even look like they need protein. They don't even look like they work out. They probably don't. What are they so focused on protein for? Protein doesn't make you skinny. Lower calories makes you skinny. If you really need protein that bad, you can just get just down some pure whey protein that has no fat, no carbs. Just down that. But then for the rest of the day, focus on getting foods that'll make you happy and full. And that's what these companies should be doing. So that's how we should be judging these foods and advertising them on social media and stuff, so that people actually buy the ones that are objectively better for our souls and our stomachs and our calories. And then that way these products will be forced to meet the consumer demand. Right now they're easily meeting the consumer demand because everyone's like, protein, we need protein. Okay, so they just shove a bunch of protein in everything. Doesn't matter if it has 2,000 calories. It has protein. That's what people are asking for. So that's what they're getting. But if the people start asking for, hey, we want lower calorie dense foods, and we start buying that, then the companies will be forced to compete with each other and to sell lower calorie dense foods while maintaining taste. So right now the best ones out there are like hanging in the 2 range, 2 calories per gram in decent taste. Like the David bar is 2.4 calories per gram, and then if you sacrifice some calorie density, go a little higher, go to like the 3 calories per gram. That's kind of where the legendary protein pastries are sitting, and they're a little tastier, and but they're a little bit heavier on the calories and better texture. And then you go even higher on the calorie density, but even tastier and better textures. The protein brownies, the Prime Bites brownies, but they're in like the 3.5 range or a little higher, 3.5 calories per gram. And then you go up to like crumble cookies, and they're like 5.6 calories per gram, and 900 calories for like 160 grams. So like 2 to 3 right now is good, but if we can get companies to like really invest on research and ways that they have the products, they have the ingredients to do it. Like the David bar, the reason it's so low is because they use a fat that we can't digest. They have fats that we can't digest. But then the David bar doesn't, I think, use a lot of like the artificial the sweeteners like allulose and stuff. Where they could get rid of some of the carbs too, and then make it even lower calorie. And then there's even like ingredients out there like synthetic proteins that can't be digested. so they can swap the proteins with that to make it even less calories. So they could really make diet food. They just haven't because the consumers aren't screaming for it yet. So if we start, we could really help the obesity pandemic, by making people happier and fuller and skinnier, you know. So we got to start judging food the right way by, judging them by these metrics: calorie density and taste test.